Hi everyone, welcome to this week's FYB Rugby Round Table. My name's Sean Phelan. You've seen us now for the last 17 weeks or so. We talk about the ins and outs of grassroots rugby and some things that are very special. And I couldn't think of a better guest today to talk to. So Zainab Alema. I can see she's wearing a Barnes RFC rugby top.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you, Sean. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
So we're going to just have a chat about life and rugby and everything that sort of goes with it. And thank you for joining us. And yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved in rugby? Who do you play for? Who have you played for?
So my name is Zainab Alema. People call me Z for short. Some people call me the bulldozer, but we'll get into that later.
I look forward to finding out why.
Yeah, so I like to sort of introduce myself as neonatal nurse by profession and a rugby player by passion.
Wow.
I play for Barnes RFC, so I'm repping Barnes like hardcore. I even got a matching headscarf and everything. Yeah, so I play for Barnes RFC. I'll take you back to the beginning. So
yeah,
the first time I put my hands on a rugby ball was at school. And it was a PE session. My PE teacher said, right, girls, we're going to play rugby today. And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yes, come, bring it on. So we had a PE session and it was just amazing. I absolutely loved it. Like just running with ball in hand, falling on the floor, everything that rugby entails, I absolutely just threw myself by. I absolutely enjoyed it. But my peers were really not with it. Like, didn't want to fall on the floor, didn't want to get dirty. I'm like, this is great. Come on, what's wrong with you? So that was my first introduction to rugby. That was actually in year 9, I believe. Year 9,
so
yeah.
What year are we talking here?
God, not too long ago, if I'm honest, not that old, but I think it was like 2007 or something like that.
Okay.
Something. Yeah. I'm 27 now, so yeah, I could probably do the maths. I'm rubbish at maths. But yeah, so that's my first introduction to rugby. And then come A-level now, I love sports in general. I used to be on the rounders team. I used to love athletics, particularly like the relay. I used to love basketball. Netball, I could never really get my head around, if I'm honest, because I like physical, like contact games. I remember one time the PE teacher said, oh, we've got a girl off sick, Zainab, can you fill in for her? And I was literally filing left, right and center. I was barging into people. I was running with the ball. They're like, you can't do that. I'm like, I'm sorry, like, I don't know how not to, So yeah, I was really sort of sporty growing up. And yeah, so my proper introduction to rugby, I would say, started from A-level. So I did PE A-level, absolutely loved PE, as I mentioned, and my PE teacher said, okay, what sport do you want to do? I said, you know what, let me try rugby, because I remember back in year 9, I enjoyed it so much. Let me do that. So she's like, fine. She went out of her way to speak to the head teacher at the time and said, listen, I've got a student called Zainab. She's doing, the course, and I want to get her into rugby club. And yeah, so she went out of her way. They got me a 4 years membership at Ealing Childfinders.
Wow.
That was my first ever club, and I've never looked back since then. So yeah, it's been a bit of a journey since then. And so after Ealing, I played for 1 season because I was 17, played up until 18. Then the senior team, I think, at Ealing folded over, so I couldn't even stay if I wanted to. But I went to university, and that was the University of Hertfordshire. And yes, I played with them for my whole of my degree. So I did children's nursing. I did 3 years, played with them. After I left university, I was just missing, like rugby was just, like I played for 3 years. I became a proper adult working as a nurse, all the stresses that come with, as being an adult and with my career now, I missed rugby. I absolutely missed it. So I have to get back into rugby. So at the time I was living in East London. So I just typed into Google, nearest rugby club, and Millwall came up. So I joined Millwall. I played with them for about 4 seasons. in and out because I had like 3 kids. Two of my kids were born like whilst I was at Millwall, so I would be on the season, off again, on the season, off again. Yeah, and then now currently I play for Barnes. So I moved over from East London to West London, and yeah, Barnes is my local club, and I'm at Barnes now. Absolutely love it here.
Only down the road from us. We're not too far from there either. And I work in Wimbledon, so even closer.
Yeah.
It's great. Sounds like you've had a real sort of rugby journey. But the real reason we're sort of here is to talk about diversity in rugby and race and everything like that. So how do I put this sort of sensitively, I guess, or not sensitively? I don't know. Forgive me. How is it being a Muslim woman playing rugby? How did your parents feel? How do other people feel? If you could sort of, I don't know.
Yeah, so there was quite a few challenges, if I'm honest. Initially, so I told my parents, I think when I started just before I joined Ealing, I said to my dad, I sat him down, I was like, look, Dad, I really enjoy rugby, I really love it, and I want to sort of like just stick at it. I'm joining a club at Ealing, and I'm going to see how it goes. And he was like, rugby is a man's sport. He said to me, rugby is a man's sport. Rugby is elitist. And he just couldn't understand why I wanted to play rugby. He was just like, why didn't you play like tennis or something? I think he was thinking of Serena Williams when he said that she played tennis, just because, you know, the relation to her being black. But tennis was never really my thing, if I'm honest. But I said, no, I want to do rugby. He never said no, he never discouraged me, but he just couldn't get his head around why I wanted to play rugby. And my mum was sort of like, she didn't want me to get injured because she knew that rugby was a physical sport. And she didn't, she was more of like, oh, I don't know if it's that safe. But they never, none of them actually said no. So I just continued. So from the parents' perspective, they weren't too keen, but they didn't say no, so I still pursued. In terms of like the wider community, like people in general, I use that as my wild card. If I'm going for interviews and I tell them I play rugby, get the job.
Yeah.
Like I use that as, because it's sort of like a wow factor, because people don't really expect, obviously because of stereotypes and stuff, they don't expect me to be a rugby player and stuff. And anytime I'm at an interview, like even when I went to my interview to work as a nurse, I threw that in there and they're like, wow, you play rugby? I'm like, yeah, So we get the conversation going. Hopefully get a few extra boundary points because of an element of surprise. But yeah, I love telling people that I play rugby, and I'm very present on my social media about the fact that I play rugby and everything like that. So I think it's been positive. Yeah, everyone's really like curious and intrigued and generally just want to know, like, how, want to know my journey and always asking questions, which is fine by me. Yeah.
And knowing a little bit about the Islamic religion, how do you have to adapt, whether you're wearing your scarf or how do you adapt to playing rugby? Because you'd have to, you can't wear necessarily a pair of rugby shorts per se, I guess.
Yeah, so I think in the beginning, I was really finding it hard to navigate myself within the rugby community in terms of like playing. So I didn't have anyone that was already playing that I could say, okay, she wears this sports hijab, maybe I should get this. Like I had to do everything myself. I had to find my own way, if that makes sense. So like in terms of the shorts, I would wear underlayers, like leggings under my shorts. I'd wear my long sleeves under my top, and obviously stepping on the pitch physically, I look different. So that added a little bit of pressure in the sense that I know if I miss that tackle or I drop the ball or anything like that, people are going to notice me, like that black Muslim girl basically fumbled, So I guess I put a bit of pressure on myself. So I always, like, especially at university, always try to work hard and play the best rugby I can play, and always gave 100%. So that's sort of like the element of looking different. But then I also had sort of like the social aspect where it's like, obviously, like being a Muslim, I can't drink alcohol, right? And obviously,
Oh.
you know how rugby is like, it's a drink is like the
It's part of
center
the
of,
culture. It is, yeah. It's
yeah,
part of the
you
culture.
know, exactly. So being me, a Muslim girl, within the rugby culture and the drinking. So at university, obviously everything's aggravated. Like drink in university is already like people go out and get pissed on a night out and stuff. And then to add rugby into that was a bit like, whoa. So obviously winning like women of the match and stuff like that, because at uni the other team would nominate, you know, somebody from our team, and quite often, not to toot my own horn, I would get woman of the match, and obviously have to down a pint, and I'd be like, no. So I'd have to nominate someone else to for me.
Get
And
them in
all of
trouble.
those things, yeah, all of those things, and although seem little, it just made me uncomfortable. And like socials as well around university, a lot of it was like alcohol based, going out, getting drunk, and I didn't want to be in that environment. And I just thought, why would I go out and all my teammates are getting drunk and I'm just sitting there like a lemon? It just didn't make sense to me. So I used to just avoid socials, like I used to just avoid them. And that kind of makes me a bit upset, because like obviously when a team bonds a lot off the pitch, it translates to like good play on the pitch.
Sure.
Because you know you bond in, and there's a lot of things that you can, the experiences off the pitch really do make the team on the pitch a lot of the time. And you can see like the way, you know, you read each other well, the way you handle the ball, the way you know that this person's going to be here at the right time. So all of that, I feel like I missed a little bit out on. And you know, I'll turn up to a game and they'll be talking about what happened last night. I'm like, well, I wasn't there, so I don't know anything about what you're talking about. But yeah, uni was great. Like I would actually say, looking back, my university rugby was probably the best rugby memories to date, if I'm honest. I absolutely had a like amazing time, really great bunch of girls that I still talk to now, every now and again. And yeah, it was just amazing. Like we got to, and what was the icing on the cake for me, like at uni, the last year that I was there, we won the Bucks championship and got to play at Allianz Park, and it was just amazing. It was great.
Brilliant. Brilliant. It's a tough competition. It's brilliant to win it. I haven't asked, what position do you play?
So at the moment I play number 8,
Okay.
back row. Yeah, I could have flank and number 8 as well. Like I'm anywhere in the back row basically. And then, but to be fair, I started off as a wing, as you do. Like
As you do,
Ealing,
everyone does.
Yeah, I was playing wing at Ealing, and then when I started to get the tools, get around, because I used to do things like run opposite direction, ruck on the wrong side. Like when I started playing rugby, I had no idea what I was doing. Like it's just so bad.
Like everybody else. We've all
Yeah,
been
exactly. When I look back, it was quite funny. But the only thing I knew I could do was run. Like I was quite quick in the beginning. And so anyway, so started off as a wing. Then when I went to university, I was in centre. So outside centre was my main, like number 13 was like my main position. Absolutely loved it at number 13. Got to do all look fancy and do all these dummies and switches and stuff, which I loved. Obviously having kids and stuff, like I never quite, because I was having back-to-back children, like I said, I've got like 3 under 5. I never really got a chance to get really fit, and then I'll be pregnant again basically. So I couldn't keep up with the backs as much as I did. So at Millwall, I made a decision to try back row, and literally is I can't believe I didn't play back row throughout the whole. I absolutely love it. Like you get a bit of that forward action, you do a bit of back move. It's amazing. I just love it. Absolutely love it.
Is that where the bulldozer came from?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So going back to that, so bulldozer came from. So when I was at Millwall, we had I don't know if they still use that move, but they'll probably change it anyway. Anyway, so the move was called bulldozer. So it was a number 8 pick up at the back of the scrum and running straight through to the number 10, right? Just absolutely smashing the number 10, and obviously I loved it. And that move was called bulldozer. So because I was the number 8 and that was my move, that just became my name. And I kind of wish I had like an exciting story to tell you about how I smashed somebody and that's why I got the name. No, it's just simply that it was just the position I played and the move that I did. But I do like it, and I've said before, like I love the name because not in a cocky way, just in a way that like as my identity being Black, female, Muslim rugby player, I'm essentially like smashing stereotypes, because not like,
Absolutely.
I don't really see much people that look like me, and people don't really like, I always get people ask, oh my gosh, you're the first Muslim rugby player I've seen. Like, wow, like everyone's so interested. So I like the name Bulldozer, because like I'm essentially like, it's like a metaphor for what I stand for and what I'm doing. So it's literally bulldozing stereotypes and smashing the stereotypes that people may have about me and, you know, playing rugby. So yeah, I think that's why I like the name more than anything.
Well, definitely, you know, I understand. Are you the only Muslim female rugby player currently playing in England? Is that right? Or one of very few?
I wouldn't say the only, because actually I thought I was the only one, if I'm honest, Sean. I thought I was the only one in the world, not even just UK, but because it just seemed like, where are people that look like me? I don't see anyone. But I'll tell you this, since I've been more active on my social media, I've a lot of like Black, Muslim, or even just Muslim rugby players have reached out to me, like, and be like, oh my God, you play rugby too? I'm like, yes, I'm good. Like, we just get this, you know, like, oh my God, like, we just so excited that we sort of found each other randomly. Yeah, so it's great. But yeah, I don't think I'm the only one there. I'm definitely not the only one, but I'll probably say I'm probably the most present, if that makes sense, on social media. So we are a few, like really few. If I'm honest, I know about 3 others, like Muslim rugby players. Black Muslim rugby player, I know 3 others. Yeah.
Oh yes, it's a very small group, and with that, you know, you're an inspiration to those guys, as well as many other people who might want to come and play rugby, but who are the rugby players, whether you know, from the BAME community or you know, anybody in general. You know, who are the people that you looked up to or still look up to?
I think anybody that really knows me knows that I love Maggie. Like, I just love
Who
Maggie
doesn't?
Alfonsi.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. And
Shout out to Maggie, just become a mum.
yeah, bless her. Oh my God, and our little auntie, yeah, it's so cute. She's just a legend, living legend, literally. But the reason why I say Maggie, it's just because, like, from my personal experiences, like I speak about, when I was on my rugby journey, especially in the early days, I wasn't sure where I fitted in, because I didn't see people that looked like me. I wasn't sure, like, and looking at elite level, Maggie was just smashing it, doing her thing, you know, representing England. And I thought, you know what, like, she's someone I can relate to, and she's doing bits, like, she's smashing it. If Maggie can play rugby, why can't I play rugby? You know? So
Definitely.
and there was exactly, you know, and there was a time where I was literally about to like leave the sport, because I'm like, I don't know if I don't know if I belong here, you know? And the fact that Maggie was out here doing, she really helped me pull through and just believe that, you know what, if she's doing it, I can do it too. There's no reason for me to leave the sport, which I enjoy, you know. And yeah, so she's a massive inspiration up to today. And I tell her, like, she knows that I like her, like, she knows. So if you watch this, and if you're watching this, Maggie, I absolutely adore you, and you're just a massive inspiration. And yeah, keep doing your thing. And like, I'm definitely rooting for you to become president of the RFU. Yes,
oh, absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, and obviously, like, in more recent, like Shauna Brown, I think she's an inspiration as well.
Fantastic rugby player for Harlequins,
yeah,
England.
Exactly. I mean, the last game that Wasps and the Harlequins play, she was absolutely smashing it. She was everywhere. Her pick and goes were insane. Like, it's just the strength and like, she's just amazing. So yeah, I definitely look up to her as well. And she's in terms of like rugby and race, and, you know, being more like racial diverse, like, I've had conversations with Shauna before, when we're both on like the same page in regards to trying to, you know, what can be done, or what ideas are there out there to try and diversify rugby. And yeah, so I've had quite a few conversations, even on my Instagram, like, we've had lives together and stuff. And yeah, she's a good girl, like, she's a cool she's a cool one, like even off the pitch as well. So she yeah, we just sort of bash ideas about, and she's definitely, I feel like she's also passionate about trying to diversify the sport, which is great. So yeah.
So on trying to diversify the sport, you're on the RFU's diversity panel, which has just been formed in the last few weeks. What does that entail? Who's part of it? And what are you trying to achieve?
So I'm definitely not on the RFU panel.
You're not?
However, no.
Did I get that
I'm
completely wrong?
Yeah, I think you did.
I'm
I
sure
did
I read
tweet.
somewhere that you were on it.
I did retweet one of like their report, but I'm definitely not on the panel. But anyway, on that subject,
My bad.
there
I
is like,
apologise. I'm
no,
sure I
no
read it.
problem. No problem. But on that subject, I did read through the report, and I think one of the things that I remember off my head was that in rugby union, there's less likely to be female of Black, Asian, ethnic minority, and also from a low socioeconomical background. And I mean, that's just one of the statements that were in there, and I'm not surprised by that, if I'm honest. It's basically my lived experiences written down. Like, it's something that I'm not surprised about at all. And I'm happy that obviously a lot of the things have been highlighted. And obviously, the RFU sent out diversity and inclusion survey a couple of weeks back, and I think it's nice that they're getting their feedback. But then it's like, what can they do now, and what's going to happen now moving forward? I'm really interested in seeing what action is going to come about from the report. And like I said, I'm going to do everything, regardless of whether the RFU have their plan. I'm going to do whatever I can do to sort of, I guess, help that, and to sort of push diversity within the sport. And just by, like, I guess, sharing content on my social media, and talking to people about rugby wherever I go. I mean, if I'm honest, anyone that I speak to, I try to recruit them. If you go to my workplace, I work as a nurse, like literally all the nurses at work, I'm always like, do you want to try rugby? Like, come down to training session, try and try it out. I'm literally I recruit strangers on the road. Like, I'm like, oh, she looks like she'd be good. She'll be good in the ruck or something. Like, I just go and talk to people about rugby, and I feel like that's also part of spreading the game, and trying to
the message,
raise awareness. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were on it. So
What do you want me on there, Sean? Sounds like
you should be on there. You should be on there. You should be on there for absolutely. So tell us a little bit about Studs in the Mud.
Mm-hmm. So Studs in the Mud is a project that I founded back in, I always say back, because basically last year, I launched it last year. But the idea came when I was on maternity leave. I obviously been on maternity leave for quite a bit, because I've got 3 kids. But I have this thing where I just think, like, ideas pop in my mind, and this was one of them. And I like doing charity work.
That's how FYB Rugby came about. It was literally an idea.
And, yeah, I like helping people and doing charity work. I've done quite a few bits in the past, and I thought, okay, what can I do that's in line with rugby, which is my passion, but also help people? So then that's where Studs in the Mud sort of was born, I guess. So it's about using rugby and its values as a tool to make positive change, or make a positive impact on people's lives, and especially women and children. At the moment, I'm a bit limited to what I can do. So a lot of it is about gathering equipment such as balls, bibs, any sort of like basic things that you need to play rugby, and just shipping it out. So I launched it in Ghana, which is my heritage. I'm from Ghana, and I went out to Ghana. I shipped a load of stuff, and I went out to the community, to the schools, watched the kids play, and it was just amazing. The experience was great. And so beforehand, actually, I got in contact with someone from Ghana Rugby, and we're quite good friends now. And she was showing, I said, I want to help out. I've seen like you're doing a few projects in Ghana, especially with the Get Into Rugby program in Ghana. I want to help out. What can I do to help? And she showed me pictures of like the school kids playing rugby. Some of them wearing barefoot. Some of them were wearing sandals. I mean, to play rugby, and a lot of them, they were playing concrete. like actual concrete, absolutely broke my heart. And I'm thinking like, what can I do to help? So obviously shipped over the equipment, went there to meet the kids, like smiles on their faces, like when they receive like a brand new pair of like 20 quid, like just £20 boots, but they were just so happy, and they're just like the joy on their faces. And I'm like, do you know what, I want to do more of this, you know, I want to make an impact. And obviously I'm limited within my scope. Obviously it's not a charity, it's a project, and I'd make that really clear, because I'm not registered, right? It's just me having a passion for rugby, you know, setting up a GoFundMe page and seeing what I can do to help people. And people that a lot of people have helped him, got Barnes, Sevens, obviously my Barnes Rugby Club as well has helped. I remember like we did a Hertfordshire returners versus current student charity match, and a lot of the money that was donated was given to me to fund the project, which people have helped me, and the girls at Mill as well, been of good help. So we had good support from across the clubs in the UK. But what I really want to do now is I want to do a tournament. So Sevens tournament in Ghana, get the local teams, the young women, because initially when I went there, a lot of it was to do with the children, but now I want to focus on the women. So I want to get like a local, get all the local teams together and us to have like a tournament. Sevens tournament doesn't have to be anything major, just something for the community and to sort of empower them to try rugby and to just have fun, just, you know, just something to keep the spirits up, you know, in true rugby fashion. So I would like to do that. I was meant to do it this year, but obviously COVID, and actually I had my most recent child as well, so he's 11 months now. But hoping next year I can go back out to Ghana and launch this tournament. And you know, but obviously you need funding for that, so I'm working on trying to get the funds for that. But I really want to do it next year.
On the equipment side, Sam, I know you're watching or listening from Rugby Store. Can you help Z out, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you get in contact?
Whatever you have,
sort something out?
I'm ready to. Yeah, whatever you have, I'm ready to collect. Obviously, I make it very clear that it has to be in good condition or new. I don't want anything that's like that you wouldn't even use yourself. It literally has to be in top tip condition or brand new. I'm not accepting anything less.
Sam, I hope you're listening.
Yeah, so that was one of my projects. I've got another project which many people don't know about actually, but I can reveal. But
oh yeah,
it's always been there, if I'm honest, but just people don't know about it. And
that is
called, yeah. So it's called Muslima Rugby, and basically that essentially means Muslim women in rugby, and that stems about from my own experiences, obviously being Muslim, playing rugby. The whole things that I talked about the like dressing, wearing the hijab, and the drinking aspect, like I was feeling a bit isolated, if I'm honest, and in the beginning I didn't know how to sort of navigate myself in regards to those aspects playing rugby. So I want to, well, trying to create this community of Muslim women within rugby, so they know like if they need any like assistance, like if they're, you know, thinking about what sports hijabs to wear, for example, or, you know, little things like, so they know they have a safe space or community within the already amazing rugby community, so they can always reach out to us. Thinking of going to watch each other's games if possible, when obviously we get running, having little sort of like social dates where we can go out and, you know, just socialize with each other and just get to know each other a bit more. And also it would be good for, because people have actually asked me like, what can we do to help Muslim women, like if we get a Muslim woman coming to our club for training, what can we do to facilitate that, you know, to make her feel comfortable in the club? And I feel like this project hopefully will give clubs that information. If you ever get a Muslim yeah, if you ever get a Muslim woman down, come to your club, and you want to think about what you can do to sort of, you know, make her comfortable, whatnot, then you can just come to us with information.
think I lost you there for a second. That's fine.
Yeah, I've got you now.
But it sounds good. It sounds needed, and I wish you all the best. And if there's any way that we can help, then just let us know. So finally, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but you were nominated for an award this week in the Times. Please tell us what it is. Have I gone again? Sorry. Right, let's do that again. We can edit it in post. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I understand this week you were nominated for an award in the Times. Please tell us a little bit more about that and how people can vote for you and help you achieve that award.
Yeah. So one of my teammates, Sarah Bosworth, basically was really sneaky and put in sort of like a brief about me, because the Sunday Times were looking for so they were looking for entries, and she entered me in without my knowledge. And she called me one day and was like, "Oh, Z, I've got some really exciting news." And I'm like, "Okay, fine. What is this news?" Sportsman of the Year. And I was like, "You did what?" And it's like, "Yeah, I just think that you'd be great for the award. You've done so many cool things." And I was like, "You're so sneaky, but this is awesome." So she's like, "I didn't tell you before because I didn't want to disappoint you, just in case you didn't get it, but you've actually been shortlisted, and you're one of 4
amazing
people that has been shortlisted for this grassroots award." And I was just like, I was a bit speechless. I didn't really know what to say. And the thing is, Sean, like you do things because you love it. You do I do things like in regards to rugby and whatever, because I'm passionate about it. And to be recognized for it, it's just a bonus. Like it's not anything that I aspire for. It's just, I mean, it's a bonus that I'm in this position, and I'm very, very grateful and thankful. And so far, the response and the people sharing and the support has been absolutely incredible. Like people texting me, like big names within the game, like saying good luck. Like it's been amazing. Like I do feel like the rugby community are really getting behind me, which I absolutely love. And my team have just been incredible, sharing the link, and just being really supportive. Like I couldn't have asked for more from Barnes, if I'm honest. Absolutely incredible club, and I'm so happy that I'm part of the team and part of the club. Absolutely amazing guy. They've backed me ever since I joined them, and they continue to back me in whatever I do, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And if this is going out, this should be going out on the 29th. So if it's still open, the voting will put it in the links and put it in the show notes and everything like that. So people, please help vote, and let's get Z the award that she thoroughly deserves. So on that high note, I don't want to take up any more of your time, so thank you very much for joining me. Your passion for rugby is so infectious, and I've loved speaking to you for the last. I wish you all the best, and if there's any way we can help with any of the projects and help spread the word, and I would absolutely be honoured to. So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Z, for joining us. This will be on YouTube shortly, if it isn't already, and there'll be a podcast tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning. So go and subscribe and leave nice reviews. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.